Queen Neferso here to align those chakras. Let's talk about today why it's so important that we don't allow other people to dictate our lives and the decisions we make in our lives. A lot of the times, we need guidance, so we think that we have to go to other people all the time, and sometimes they discourage you, and sometimes they just don't understand your passion and who you are as a person, so they mislead you based on what their understanding and their perception of decisions are for them. So it's really, really important that you believe in yourself and you trust in yourself and in everything that you feel and you experience, because you'll end up making decisions that make you unhappy, and then you'll be confused about why you're so unhappy, or damn it, maybe I shouldn't have listened, or you tend to go back on what you experienced because it's not really working out for you. And then you start to wonder, like, did I make the right decision? Am I doing the right thing? So it's really important that you make decisions based off of what you feel is going on in your heart space, where you feel you can be happy. Yeah, society makes it seem like, you have to do what's realistic, but everyone's reality is not the same. So who's to say that what's realistic for you is realistic for me? It's not. So we have to make sure that we're following ourselves, and that when we seek from others, we seek energy in the aspect of fuel, positive fuel, to make the decision that we already made, and not to have someone tell us that our decision is wrong. We need to take action on what we feel more. A lot of times I was talked down on because I would be in circumstances where I need a job, and someone would offer me something that's not going to be beneficial for me, and I'll deny it, and they'll get upset because in their perspective, I need a job and I need to take whatever can be handed to me. But that's not how it should ever go. Granted, yeah, we live in a time where you need money to pay bills, you need money for rent and to eat, but nothing is worth your sanity, nothing is worth your well-being, nothing is worth your health and where you feel comfortable. Nothing is ever worth that. So don't ever allow anyone to make you feel like you need to do something that you don't want to do. No matter how urgent it is, no matter how necessary it is, you will never get past anything if you do things and make decisions based on urgency. Because then we have to think about how urgent is something really. We live in a lot of illusions, and we tend to take a lot of things seriously that don't need to be taken seriously, and that can cause you to make a decision very vastly just because you think it's going to help you, but then you end up realizing that you're a lot more depressed, you're a lot more unbalanced than you was before you need to seek this thing. So it's really important that you don't get discouraged when people don't understand, and that's something that we tend to fall into a lot, because sometimes we just want to hear someone tell us that we are making the right decision, but what's right for us is not going to be right to someone else. So we have to make sure, we have the confidence and we find the courage to believe in ourselves more, enough that we allow ourselves to make the decisions based on what we feel and not what other people feel is right for us, because they're not living our lives, we are. They're not going to have to be that janitor that you don't want to be. They don't have to do this little $7 an hour job just because they think it's better for you. Don't ever settle for things like that, because then you'll end up being somewhere you don't need to be. And granted, we are always going to be somewhere we need to be, but sometimes you can still end up doing something that you shouldn't be doing, and then you have to deal with the consequences of your mental space, and then your emotional space. It deteriorates now because you're doing something out of urgency and not out of something that you wanted to do. We need to stop being in a fear-based mentality where we feel like we have to be obligated to every job that is presented to us, that we have to be obligated to every single thing that pops up for us because we need it. It doesn't work like that, and you'll end up being so unhappy and miserable, while the other person is like, oh, well, you need to be thankful because at least you have a job. Yeah, you should be thankful because at least you have a job, but your sanity is not worth it, though. At the end of the day, you should do what makes you happy, no matter what that means. No matter what that means. Sometimes it takes a lot of sacrifice to have your happiness, and it's necessary. Nothing should be easy. Nothing should be that easy to get you to where you need to be. So if it should be as easy as just taking any job that pops up, what are you learning there? What are you really sacrificing towards your happiness? Because you have to give to get. So we have to think about that. We have to consider that and stop living based off what society wants us to feel, which is you need a job where you can provide for the government and provide for all of these things that we never see. So we have to stop feeling obligated to do things that they say we need to be doing. If you need to quit, if you need to take some time to figure some things out, you should do it. But of course, be realistic in the aspect of, will you be able to provide for yourself? Would you be able to find means in other ways to make ends meet? Don't just up and do something just because. But at the same time, too, that applies to the decisions you make towards what you do with yourself as well. We can't just look at that one way. Another thing is, when it comes to who we are, we're always checking for validation, and we will lose who we are as a person because we're checking for what other people think is who we are. If you want to risk it all to be a painter, if you want to risk it all to be a poet, if you want to risk it all to do what you love, you got to do it, regardless of what that means to other people. No matter what, you got to just trust that what you seek will be given to you. What you seek will be open to you. What you seek will always, always, always be available for you to achieve. We have to start really believing that we have the power. We have to start focusing inside, start focusing in where we can bring these things into manifestation, where we could bring it into fruition. We have to find the confidence. We have to find the motivation. The only time that you should ever take things from others is by a grain of salt of advice or of little pushes and nudges they give you towards your life. Don't ever make decisions based off of someone else. Because sometimes things aren't what they appear to be, and we have to make sure we're clear and we're focused. We're meant to be in each other's lives as reminders of who we are. Everything is just a reflection or a mirror of what we are. So we have to trust that that means that we already have the answers, that we already have the energy, that we already have the abundance, that we already have the frequency we need to attract what we want. Everyone else outside of you is just a reminder of who you are. And that touches on your ego, that touches on your well-being, it touches on your mental state, it touches on your emotional state, your spiritual state. Everything outside of you is only a reflection. So when we seek from others, we have to make sure that we're seeking correctly and that we're not trying to take. Because when I say, when you can take energy from someone, I don't mean, break them down so that you can absorb what they have. What I mean by that is learn from where that person is coming from so that you can match the vibration of the frequency that they're trying to tell you about, so that you can absorb that from outside, from the universe, from the plants, from the earth, from other things outside of people. We need to make sure that we're not absorbing from people because they are just our reflection. So by taking from others, we are really taking from ourselves. So we have to really start getting motivated again. There's a 30-day challenge that I'm doing right now where I wrote down my goals and I wrote down quotes to make me remember that everything is possible for me and that nothing, no circumstance is strong enough to break my will. And every day, every moment I have, I read it. And when I tell you that it's been making such a difference for me, it's been building my confidence, and it's been building who I am more. It's been giving me more motivation because I'm constantly reminding myself of my power. I'm constantly reminding myself that I can have that, and that I wrote it down for a reason, because I will have it. So let's start getting that solar plexus up. Let's just start getting, let's start believing in it. Let's start believing in ourselves to the highest potential possible. Let's do it. Let's be motivated. Let's stop settling for things, people, and situations that do not belong to us or do not entitle us. Let's focus away from all the negative things that are not serving us as a human being, as a spiritual being. Let's start getting to the motivation of self-awareness. I am worthy. I am deserving. I deserve love. I deserve to receive. I deserve. Let's get that pumping. Let's get that going. Let's remind ourselves every day. If you got to write it down on Post-its and post it all over your house, all over your room, all over your car, put it there. Get it going. Remind yourself constantly. It's easier to think negatively. It's harder to think positively. But with constant reminder, we can shift those negative thoughts, and we can recreate them to be more positive. We can recreate them so that we can be more positive. Don't hesitate to do anything possible to keep yourself motivated. Don't stop yourself from feeling like there's nothing you can do to regain the energy that you need, the vitality that you need to pursue your life, your path, your passion. Let's believe in ourselves 20 million times more than we did yesterday. And that's also a part of the 30-day challenge. Every single day you have to do something more than the day before that can help you towards your path, that can help you towards yourself, and just towards your path in general. Every day you have to do something more. So if you're used to just researching, next day try applying that research. The next day try talking to someone else about it, or bringing ideas to someone else, and maybe you two can recreate this idea even more. And then from there you keep building on other things in different sections of things that you're doing. And I've noticed that that's been motivating me more, and it's been allowing me to see more abundance. And abundance is not just the money. Abundance is a lot of other things. It's just anything that can help you along your path. I think it's time that we own ourselves again, and we own our minds, we own our spirituality, we own our physical bodies, and we take power and we take control again. Let's start eating cleaner. Let's start eating things that really help us energetically. Having a power smoothie in the morning can change your whole morning, can change your whole day at that. Let's start being motivated again. Let's start by waking up every morning and reading things and reciting things, listening to YouTube videos. There is so much outlets. There's so many things out there, so many people out there that are helping us, and if we don't seek it, we can't find it, and we can't enjoy it, we can't absorb it. So we have to start seeking more. And that's one thing that I've added into my 30-day challenge as well. I've been seeking more. So I'm not settling for just myself anymore. We tend to do that a lot, where we only rely on ourselves and we try to be too independent. But the reality is that we are a collective consciousness of people, and we have to start allowing other people to help us. Yes, I know you have gone through trial and tribulation of people who pretend, people who start you up and then leave you hanging, but leave that behind you. Start recreating your perception of people, where you're now allowing more people into your life that actually want to help you, that actually want to be there for you. Because the moment that I gave up on that reality of people that really let me down a lot, I actually finally started attracting people that really wanted to help me in an amazing ways that I can never be any more thankful and grateful for. So let's start allowing other people to help us more. Let's start allowing other people to give us more advice towards our well-being, towards our health, towards being better, not telling us what to do, but to help us be better. Let's get to this work. Let's get to this motivation. It is Saturday. Let's just get to it. No more excuses. Let's just do it. And with that being said, you are amazing, you are beautiful, you are worth everything, you deserve everything, and as I say it, it shall be. So as you say it, it shall be, and you will receive as you give, and you will receive more the more you give. So let's keep the balance running and going, and let's manifest.